Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Freaky Fast Broadcasting. We've got the RSR Cup Series here tonight from the Kansas Speedway. This is the ORR Nissan Central 135. We've got 135 laps here tonight at Kansas. It's going to be a special event here for race number 10 of the RSR Cup Series. And we need to give a special shout out to all the sponsors that help make it here happen at the Evolution Racing Leagues and Freaky Fast Broadcasting. First, we want to give a shout out to ORR Nissan Central, the leading Nissan dealership in Oklahoma City. Make sure to go check out their website at www.orrnissancentral.com. We also want to give a special shout out to Sheffield Graphics, the leading designer in sim racing paint schemes and liveries. It was found by a Navy veteran, and a portion of every paint goes to the Military Foundation's Folds of Honor. It's a great nonprofit organization that gives sponsorship to the families of fallen soldiers and disabled veterans. Make sure to go check them out on Facebook under Sheffield Graphics and tell them Freaky Fast sent you. We also have ButtKicker. Every game deserves a truly immersive experience. The ButtKicker Gamer 2 lets you feel every detail, from subtle footsteps to the rumble of a V10 powered race car, from ambient environmental effects to the power of a nearby explosion. By moving a physical mass instead of only air like a traditional speaker, the Gamer 2 provides instant, accurate, powerful bass response, and it's all perfectly synced with every game with no additional software required. So make sure to go to ButtKicker.com and check out what they have in store for you there, and you can feel what you've been missing. You can also use Freaky Fast 20 there at ButtKicker.com to get 20% off of any purchase there at ButtKicker.com. And remember, that is Freaky Fast 20. That's Freaky with 2 E's to get 20% off at ButtKicker.com. So thank you to all the proud sponsors here at the Evolution Racing Leagues and Freaky Fast Broadcasting here tonight. The RSR Cup Series takes on the Kansas Speedway here for the ORR Nissan Central 135. I'm Zach Hall up in the booth here tonight for race number 10. Calling the shots with me will be Brandon Colley, and we'll have Robert Morgan up here running the cameras in the background, keeping everything in tip top shape. But I tell you what, man, great race from the ARCA series here at the Kansas Speedway earlier, Brandon. What can we expect to see here for race number 10 of the Cup Series, you think, tonight?
Well, I think more of the same, Zach. More side by side racing here, multi groove racing, the name of the game, and what we all wanted to see, and we definitely got it. It was an exciting ARC race, and these guys in the Cup Series, uh, whale drivers in this league, and I imagine they're going to be door to door. We're going to see three wide quite a few times throughout this race here. Got some stages they're going to have to navigate here at lap 35 and 70. Getting word that the fuel load just about at that 35 lap marker there, so they may be running out of fuel here at the start, depending on how they approach these stages. We'll have to find out. But also three sets of tires in the pits, and they're going to have to manage that as well. As we saw before in the ARC race, tires are going to be crucial.
Tires definitely look crucial. And you know what's going to else be crucial is figuring out what line is going to be the dominant one. Because man, I tell you what, from that ARCA race, we've seen it go back and forth. And from a little bit of information, thank you to the 14 GT Arizari out there for giving us a little bit of heads up going into here tonight, giving us that good info from the champ from the Truck Series. So shout out to him winning the Truck Series championship this week here at the Evolution Racing Leagues. So he's coming off some momentum there, looking third in practice. But yeah, he gave us some pretty good information about how the line's going to move around.
It's kind of opposite to what it used to be. The high line being kind of the preferred line for the early part of the run, then it trending a little bit lower as the run goes on. It's seeming like the outside lane really is going to wear the tires down a lot more than we're used to, which is a great sign. We'll have to see how it plays out over the course of the long run, exactly where the line changes, where you're going to want to run. But it has a lot to do with how you approach the early part of the run, where your car is going to be more comfortable.
We'll have to see how this Kansas Speedway reacts to these Cup cars here with the brand new iRacing update that we've seen be brought here with the new track services. Thank you to iRacing for bringing us to this because man, I tell you what, it made the ARCA series so special to watch, and I'm sure it's going to bring something special to this Cup series here too. We'll just have to see how this package fits it. But at the moment, man, we got about a little bit less than a minute to go here in qualifying. Remember, entering here tonight in the point standings, you had Cody McCauley here leading the point standings with Curtis Preston in that second position, John Willett third, Dylan M. Reed in the fourth position, fifth is Ryan Bean, Trevor Massetti in sixth, Travis Everett seventh, eighth is GTA Rosari, ninth Kevin Ruth in 10th. Rounding out your top 10 points is Kevin Giadricic. And I tell you what, had a lot of different winners so far throughout this season. Only multi-time winner still is Dylan Reed with his 3 wins, but other than that, we've had single victories for multiple different drivers, and it's been going kind of all over the place with wins the last few weeks.
Well, and that's what you like to see, a nice competitive league where one guy's not out here dominating all the time. We talk about Dylan Reed having multiple wins, but he's definitely had to earn them. It has not been easy for that 131 car. And I think the wager today is we may find another first time winner. But this is kind of throwing everybody for a loop, trying to figure out where you need to run at this track. It's like running here for the first time all over again.
It really is. It's going to be a learning experience for us up here in the booth and the drivers out there on the track. So we'll have to see how that all transpires here as these drivers enter qualifying session here to qualify themselves, see who can win this Sheffield Graphics Pole Award here tonight. I get to talk here with Brandon Colley, but man, close points, really close, spread out stuff. Not a lot of multi-time winners. Dylan Reed, winning those 3 races. But the thing I will say about that is Dylan Reed won those 3 races, but he won them very early in the season. The past few races, he hasn't been able to produce that kind of success. So let's see if he can bring some of that success back here this week.
Talked about GT earlier, Zach. Consistency is what wins you championships. Wins are great, but if you win 2 weeks in a row by finishing just out the next 2 races, you have to only finish in mid pack for all 4 races. So it's not going to help you out in the long run.
Yeah, it really won't. And GT's a guy who's really going to need to bounce back here tonight. Had some good runs, three top fives coming tonight, four top tens through our first nine races of the season. But he's shown a lot more pace than that. It's just been a lot of bad luck. And I'm excited to see when he can break through that win column because, it's been around the edge. I mean, last time at Richmond, man, he was so close there at Richmond, looking so strong. Last week at Talladega up front, qualifying on the pole. I mean, he's had the speed. He's just got to bounce back here.
Yeah, and it's just a lot of bad luck and a lot of really inopportune times for him. Talking about it, Richmond especially had a really good strategy, had a lot of pace. An old time caution shuffled him back in the field and just couldn't quite recover from it to get the finish that he really deserved. But it's not just GT. Quite a few other drivers are kind of suffering with the same fate. And benefit of a longer season, you can afford to have that kind of a downswing in your momentum there, but eventually you got to pick it back up if you want a chance for this championship.
You're exactly right. Right now, Curtis Preston, last season's champion, sitting on top of the board right now. He's just a thousandth of a second ahead of Nolan Potter, our Las Vegas winner there. As Curtis Preston puts himself first on the board. Travis Everett, their teammate at Slide Job Racing, goes on to third ahead of James Courtroad and Kevin Ruff, your winner from Martinsville in fifth. So it's kind of shaking up very close times, but I mean, 84 all the way to an 89 in ninth place. It's really close times up front.
I've got to say, I'm impressed with the 34 Nolan Potter. I believe starting at Atlanta, I believe it was. Really putting down a lot of quick pace for qualifying. He's up here battling for this pole award each and every week. Maybe even a little bit earlier than Atlanta. Definitely picked up his qualifying game, and it's translated to a lot of really good runs.
It really has. He's shown a lot of speed in that 34, bringing home a win already this season to his name. So expect to see him up here challenging for another victory here at these mile and a halfs. That's where he seems to really come out and show his pace. John Willett there putting himself fourth on the board. Shout out to Stephen Carey filling in here tonight for Brock Potter, I believe, in that four machine. He's in the sixth position. Let me make sure that is right. Yeah, Brock Potter there for Stephen Carey filling in. And also Kevin Dow will be subbing in for Daniel Gonzalez here tonight for the Team Fly Boys. And yeah, so we got two fill-in drivers, man. It's really cool to see some guys filling in and getting their chance up here in the Cup Series to see what they can do and helping out the guys that can't make it here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, and that's one of the benefits that the Evolution Racing Leagues has with their ARCA feeder series, the ARC Evolution series. Just that talent pool, that deep talent pool that you can pull from. That even though it's what would be considered their Xfinity series running the ARCA cars, the talent is just as good out of those guys as it is here in the RSR Cup Series. So it's not even close to a step down when you've got a guy that you need to call up to fill in a main roster spot.
Exactly right about that. Looks like most of the drivers have completed times. Dustin Stalling sitting on pit road and Cody McCauley sitting at the start finish line. Looks like those two won't be taking times as the final 20 seconds are about to click off on the clock. And it looks like Curtis Preston will be your Sheffield Graphics pole sitter. So congrats to him on a fantastic lap here at the Kansas Speedway. And we will go ahead and pull up our starting grid here tonight at the Kansas Speedway for tonight's ORR Nissan Central 135 here at Kansas. Looks like Curtis Preston is going to be starting from that pole position. Second is going to go to Nolan Potter. Third is Travis Edler. Fourth, John Willett. Fifth is going to be James Courtroad. Sixth, Stephen Carey. Seventh, GT Rosari. Eighth, Kevin Ruff. Ninth is Kevin Giadershitz. And rounding out your top 10 is Bob Fitzpatrick.
Harold Watkins in 11th, Andrew Little 12th, Ryan Bean 13th, Nathan Campbell 14th, Hunter Hayward 15th, Trevor Massetti 16th, Chad Biesinger 17th, Michael Sheffield 18th, Alex Rudolph 19th, and Kevin Sabilla rounding out your top 20.
21st is going to be Stephen Baldwin. 22nd, David Hall. 23rd is going to be Adam Buzzio on the 55. 24th is Craig A. Burns. 25th is Kevin Dowd. 26th, Matthew Rush. 27th is Tony Ludy. 28th, Dylan Reed. 29th, Junior Miller. And 30th will go to Anthony Younes.
Casey Kuntz in 31st, Marc-Andre Thibodeau in 32nd. Mike Martino, 33rd. Ryan Ezell, 34th. Cody McCauley with a blistering 3-minute lap in 35th. And Justin Stallings rounding out your field in 36th.
And there is your starting lineup here for the RSR Cup Series. We'll go ahead and pull up Curtis Preston, our Sheffield Graphics pole winner here tonight from Slide Job Racing. So congrats to Curtis Preston. Here he is in this 29 machine. Brandon, can you try to pull him down? I can't for some reason.
Not either.
Yeah, I believe there might be something wrong with the room here. Oh, there we go. There you go, Brandon.
Spraying up in the. Hey, Curtis, you got your ears on, bud.
Yeah, what's going on, Brandon?
Hey, man. Well, congratulations on nailing that Sheffield Graphics Pole Award here at Kansas. Gotta say, man, hope you're excited in that car to see what these Cup cars can do around this place once we get underway here. What are you expecting tonight? Curtis? Bueller?
Maybe he didn't find the button this time.
Sure. We may be having some issues with Discord here, but Curtis, if you can hear me, wish you the best of luck here, bud, and hopefully keep that thing up front. We can talk to you some of these stages and at the end of this thing, but let you get back down there to it to take the green flag, bud.
All right, that was Curtis Preston there, guys. Sorry about that. Trying to figure out exactly what's going here, but like we're having a few issues here on our audio platform of Discord. So gotta love technology. But shout out to Curtis Preston for winning the Sheffield Graphics poll here tonight, as we're getting ready to go green flag racing here.
Yeah, I was gonna ask him about the new paint scheme too.
I know it's beautiful. It's a beautiful paint scheme there. You see the pace car pull off. Beautiful time of the day here, late in the afternoon in Kansas. Green flag is in the air. We're off and away. RSR Cup Series action back here on Freaky Fast Broadcasting, live here for 135 laps of Kansas, man, for race number 10. Great racing here we've seen for the ARCA Series. Let's see what these Cup drivers can do.
And a GT Rosari in the 14 really sent James Courtrun sailing off into one, pushed him the whole way into the corner. And it's getting single file a little bit on the inside here. A couple guys still wandering out to the high line, trying to make something work and get a good run.
Yeah, really from Kevin Ruff on back in that 112 in that 9th position. He's got Bob Fitzpatrick behind him, Harold Watkins, Stephen Carey, Ryan Bean, Andrew Little, Hunter Hayward, Trevor Massetti. Multiple drivers all the way back to the 15th position, all the way from 9th, all on top of each other.
It did not wait long, Zach, to get 3 wide. Before we even completed a lap, there were 3 wide. Oh, no, Stephen Carey goes around.
Oh, and he goes around there, incident first lap here, or actually on the second lap there, bring out our first caution of this evening there. You see the 4 of Stephen Carey filling in for Brock Potter this evening. Heavy collision here early in this race. And, oh, man, I think maybe a little contact from the 25 of Ryan Bean there, getting into the side of the Ryan Bean with this 4 machine. And that's going to bring out that caution there as we go back on the Freaky Fast replay. Andrew Little nowhere to go. But here it is. We're live on replay. The 4 getting down to the corner. The 25 is a little bit up the racetrack. 4 gets into that left for a quarter panel, sends them up the racetrack a little bit, checked up. The 68 can't check up in time. Andrew Little. That's going to send the 4 around. And heavy hit there for the 68. And, you know, no fast repairs. That's tough for some of these drivers right here early in this event.
Yeah, not a very good start to a fill-in race here, but unfortunate, you know, just the balance seems like it's a little bit loose, especially on the older or the newer tires, excuse me, and just kind of over-rotated and a little bit of zigging where you should have zagged and a little bit of contact with disastrous results.
Early caution here in stage number 1, and I tell you what, this is it. You know, we were talking about before. You brought the fuel mileage early in the discussion of this, and talking about only being able to possibly make it to that 35 point. Well, this caution right here definitely going to help these drivers make it to the end of stage number 1.
Well, I'd be wagering here that this pretty much guarantees that they can make the end of the first stage, and then the caution laps after the end of the first stage guarantee that they can make it to the end of the second. So green flag pit stops should not be an issue until we get to that long stretch of 65 laps for the final third of this race here, where it looks like they're probably going to have to make at least one.
Yeah, they definitely are. It seems like if we can, it just matters, of course, how long we go into the run there during that final stage. But we should definitely hit a pit stop there if that thing goes green. Definitely not making the 65 laps on 60% fuel. Of course, you're not going to make that 35 laps. So, you know, going to be interesting, Brandon, but we'll see which drivers can play the strategy right here tonight. But I'm just excited to get this thing going. We kind of got a little tease there with this first incident there, first caution, man, because I want to see how this package gets as the tires start to wear out.
Well, it wasn't that different from the ARC race. Had a quick caution right out the gate there too, kind of teased us a little bit as we're all anticipating how this is going to play out and what we're gonna be seeing here. And just from the restart and the couple laps that we had, there was still a lot of side by side battling. Three wides already saw the three of Bob Fitzpatrick shooting the gap there, coming out of four, coming to take the start of lap two. So these guys can definitely move around quite a bit.
I mean, there was some guys really moving on through the field. I mean, you had Cody McCauley go from 35th to 23rd, 2 laps. 12 positions. I mean, a few of those cars did end up in that wreck, so that definitely helped his spot there. But gaining multiple spots, even Marc-Andre Thibodeau behind him, who started 32nd, went all the way up to 24th. So a few of these guys here in the 20s and the 30s really making big jumps here in the first 2 laps of green flag laps.
Saw out of Cody McCauley, Zach, is it looked like he was running the high side,
Yeah.
making those passes. So, uh, true to what the information we got, it looks like the high side is pretty good on the short run, can carry a lot of speed. But the tire fall off, that is the big question. And with the limited amount of grip that we have with the rubber laid down, that high side is going to chew up the tires for the early part of the race. We'll have to see how that transitions toward the end.
Yeah, that's what I want to see how this track changed, with the dynamic track updates too. We've got it's interesting now with the way it works. We used to base the dynamic track off of mostly heat. We'd run a line, it'd heat up that line, and that would cause the drivers have to move around to search for the cooler line that had more grip. But now it seems like it's more of a situation to where you kind of want to run where the track's the cleanest. So the least amount of rubber, if you can find that spot, it tends to be the fastest spot on these updated tracks now. So if you can find that clean spot on the track, go find that grip. You never know. You could really find something here later in part of these races. So I'm interested to see how the track changes over this whole 135 lap distance.
Absolutely, that is the big question on everybody's mind. Just how with unique the handling is for the Cup cars and the way that their aerodynamics work. It was going to be the biggest tell as to exactly how well this the racing had improved here, and we'll know for sure by the end of this thing. Just seeing how the lines change as they're getting ready to take the green.
Yes, they are. Getting ready to take the second green flag of the night. There it is, off and away. The 29 Curtis Preston. Let's say a beautiful 29 there. He's our Sheffield Drivers pole winner, and he's going to lead us off the turn one with teammate Travis Everett here riding on board with him, side by side with Nolan Potter down here to turn one.
I was actually kind of surprised to look up there, Zach, and see that Curtis Preston elected to take the outside lane for that restart, but worked out pretty well. I think it was extending an olive branch to his teammate, making sure he had the inside, but it's not going to hold it for long as now John Willett in the 81 looking to take over that second position.
Yeah, John Willett there in the 81 trying to get on through in this bottom lane. We'll see which lane prevails. You got GT Azari in the 14 in the bottom lane there. Also, James Courtrone up in the top lane, sliding up ahead of Kevin Giadricic. But I tell you what, this track's already showing signs of just multi-group racing all over the place.
I've got to say, I am pretty impressed with how well these guys have been able to keep the car underneath of them. Just looking at it in practice, a lot of guys struggling with the handling. And as I said,
yes, man, that was crazy. Great save by him, but look at this splitting here. Oh, and we got another caution here, second of the night here. Looks like Dylan Reed in the 131, one of our three times winners, into the wall. here on the exit of the corner. And tell you what, I think he got the wall the same way the 54 Anthony used it, and Cody McCauley also front end gone on that 62. So big hitters here involved in this wreck here on lap number 9. See what our freaky fast caution replay can bring here. As you can see, there's the 54 Anthony Younes into the wall, but there, look, Dylan Reed wrecking in front of Cody McCauley. So incident between those two, and look, that front end gone on that 62. That may be a huge issue for him tonight, our points leader.
Guarantee that's going to be a big issue, not having a front end. These cars are so aero sensitive, and this is such a high-speed track. Not having that front clip on the car, you're not going to be making up much progress. And unfortunately, you know, it seemed like it was kind of a strategy call that the 62 had played, even the 131, to kind of start in the back of the pack, let you know, the unknowns kind of reveal themselves. And if there was any cautions, they had plenty of room to, you know, avoid them. But can't avoid it when it happens right in front of you.
Yeah, you really can't. It just caught both of them off guard. I mean, yeah, the 54 hit the wall, and I think the 131 Dylan Reed, I mean, he was on set to hit the wall anyway. So that was just both those drivers overestimating the grip and getting hard into the outside wall, causing an early wreck here on lap number 9 to bring out our second ORR Nissan Central caution. And now these guys could definitely make it to the stage.
Oh, no question about that. They've definitely got enough fuel to make it to the end of the stage now.
That's for sure, man. But I tell you what, 3 sets of tires in the pits. I think you're definitely not. You're going to want at least to wait till that first stage before you ever put a set of tires on this thing.
I'd have to agree with that. If I'm a gambling man, which oftentimes I try to, doesn't work out that well, but might try a strategy where you don't take tires for that first stage. Try to save it for the end there, that last stage, because if you can have fresher set of tires, even if you're starting toward the back, late race caution, you can make a whole lot of ground in a hurry.
Oh, the thing is, there's options. You know, there's not one groove, so I feel like you can make up a lot of ground pretty quickly here tonight with some fresh rubber. So we'll have to watch that, Brandon. I mean, can you just go anywhere? That's the thing. So just hold the throttle down and drive through them, I guess you could say. But I'll have to see how that shakes out. And it's interesting to see. I wonder how bad dirty air is going to be. You know, that definitely plays a huge factor in these cup cars, and that's a good thing. You know, we had the dirty air, but we kind of had single groove racing going on. Both this multi groove action, you have options to get out of that dirty air.
Yeah, and that's exactly what you want as a driver. You want to be able to move around when you can't follow somebody because the car's just getting so tight behind somebody with that dirty air. You need a place to go to try to, you know, formulate some type of a run, or find a little bit more grip to make that pass that you need to you know, maybe get to the lead. And so far, it's looking like they've got that, and that is absolutely excellent to see.
Well, Curtis Preston sitting strong so far from that pole position, still holding on to the lead. And man, I can't get over that. That's a slick looking paint scheme on the 29. I like the reversal he's got kind of going on with it.
Yeah, it threw me way off guard. I thought maybe my trading paints was kind of going wonky on me there for a second. I looked around, I was like, "Oh, it's just white."
Tell you what, that 29 has made a name for himself in this series so far, winning last year's championship. But you cannot forget about his teammate there, Travis Everett. This guy's been hot on his heels since Phoenix. I mean, he finished second to him in the championship last year, and I think to win the championship again, it's going to go through these two teammates possibly.
It very well could. Both have a win, but the key difference right now, and it's showing in the points, is the fact that Curtis Preston has 7 top 10s and 4 top 5s to Travis Everett's 4 top 10s and 3 top 5s. So wins are important, but those top 5s and top 10s, that makes all the difference.
Consistency. And if we can ask our Truck Series champion GT about consistency, he sure showed it in that series, man. So you if you can bring some of that there, you got to remember GT2 is Slide Job Racing. So Slide Job Racing, very formidable team. But I tell you what, the rest of these teams out here, they've been taking note this season. Slide Job Racing, you know, led the standings most of the year last year, but Elite Racing Group has been the team leading this season. So It's been a fun team battle, fun driver. The whole concept of the RSR Cup Series is just really awesome with the charters, and can't wait to get farther into the season where we get into some playoff action, man.
Yeah, and that's when the action's really going to heat up. That's when these guys are going to be focused on every single extra little position for that extra point that you can possibly gain. It's when it really matters the most.
Playoff time is the best time. Pace car in, but you know what the best time right now is? Kansas Speedways. The green flag is back out here. Curtis Preston, great start for him. Teammate Travis Everett going to clear the 34 Nolan Potter slide in front of him, but here comes John Willett, the 14, a GT Azar with his Mustang week number 14 machine. There's the 14 of James Cortron, new rookie to this year, finding his way up towards the field.
And looking at watching GT just ahead of him here, he's done the same thing every restart. He's got the inside position and just shoves the car ahead of him down on that inside lane, and just makes up a couple positions doing it. And looking back now, it's looking Hunter Hayward looking to make it 3 wide underneath James Corroad, and Kevin Jadrusich thinks a little bit better of it. But that 48 also on the move up 7 positions, now 8 positions, breaking into the top 10 here, going towards the top 5.
Yeah, look at this. Willett putting the block on Irizarry here early in this race as he's trying to get by Preston. It's stacking up front here, and this is the type of race I think we're going to see all night here before these guys can get separated. It's going to be a crapshoot.
I am seeing a lot of guys really moving around mid-corner, trying to find a lane to carry their run and not have to check up, and they're catching that transition in the bank, and it's not working out well for them. A lot of guys wiggling. Travis Everett had a big moment last time in 3 and 4.
Look at Hunter Hayward, a new rookie to the series here as he's made his way through the ARCA Series 3 wide for that 3rd position with GT Rosario, our Truck Series champion, and the 9 of Kevin Jadrusich with John Willett taking the lead over Curtis Preston. Man, this racing has been intense so far here at the Kansas Speedway. Just such close racing.
I'm looking at Hunter Hayward here, seeing him. He is so smooth on the apron there. There's no bobbles. He's not clipping the apron. Nothing. It's completely steady and smooth the whole way around. Man, it's crazy how well the bottom is working here. I'm so excited about seeing guys off the wall and battling side by side here. Still too deep for the first 4 positions here, battling hard for the lead.
So fun to watch. Look at this here, right on board Bob Fitzpatrick from 10th to 5th for himself. He's been having a great race, and he was a multiple-time winner last season. Hasn't been able to get into the victory lane since the start of last time's playoffs. So he's been somewhat under a drought, I guess you could say, in this story.
Well, it happens for sure. Just a bit of circumstance, and you just can't seem to break through and get back to victory lane. But he's also had those shines of brilliance. We've seen him run very well. And back up here now, 4th position, battling with GT and Kevin Jadrusich, trying to chase down the leaders. This may very well be the night that he breaks back into victory lane to get his win here at Kansas.
Very possible. There's this racing. It's just so intense. GT Rosario there, side by side with Bob Fitzpatrick for that 4th position. Is right now the top 3 single file. John Willett, Curtis Preston, Hunter Hayward. But from there on back, it's a line of snaking cars.
Side by side battling. Travis Everett just keep getting hung out on that high side. Can't quite get clear. Coming up on the slower car of I believe that's Craig, involved in the contact of the first incident. Just a little bit of right front damage. Really hurt the car by the looks of it here as he falls a lap down.
And trying to look at his car, it's definitely hurt a little bit there. And really looking, Dylan Reed involved in the last wreck. He's got a little bit of damage. But I tell you, Cody McCauley, they fixed his front end. Looks like his front of his car is back. So I don't know how he got a new front end, but he got a new front end.
Yeah, doing some R&D back at the shop, and I take a note from those IndyCar guys with the quick clips. Slap some new body panels on the thing.
Well, the Elite Racing Group has a good information here. They got, McCauley back in the pack here. He knows exactly what it's feeling like back there. Now you got Willett out front, so you can tell what clean air feels like. This is good information they're building possibly here for the race for teammate-wise.
Well, Also, another one of their teammates, Alex Rudolph in the 42, breaking his way up to the 11th position here, just behind Trevor Massetti for that 10th position. The whole team, except for the minor issue with Dylan Reed and Cody McCauley, pretty good run so far tonight.
Yeah, looking strong from that group over there, man. But I tell you what, this front four kind of separating themselves at the moment. Actually, with Travis Everett back up for him also is. I tell you what, this is going to be interesting, man. With the front four starting to break away a little bit here before the staging.
Yeah, it's looking like, they're letting the tires get a little bit worn in. Everybody's kind of single filing out and just kind of holding pace right now, seeing what they can do to maybe gain a little bit, see where the guy ahead of them's kind of, losing a little bit or gaining a little bit, make some adjustments here while you got the chance, no pressure from behind. But Travis Everett with a big slide job right up in front of Kevin Jadrosich out of 2. Kevin gives him a shot down the backstretch.
He said, "I'll remember that."
Yeah,
Did he get back to his outside? No, he was not able to get back to his outside there. So, interesting battles going on. But right now, it is solid up front with John Willett leading the way in this 81 machine. He's got Curtis Preston, that pole setter, in the second position. But third place, Hunter Hayward. Got to give him a shout out. A new full-time comer to the series. And he showed his talent in the ARCA series. Now he's ready to show his talent in these Cup cars.
Doing a good job at that, Zach. He's up 12 positions, running in third place right now. Not our biggest mover. That would go to Dustin Stallings in a 93 in 19th position, up 17 positions from the start. But Hunter Hayward charging through the field here and just stalking the leaders, just trying out different things, slight variations in the lane, seeing what works and what doesn't.
And if memory serves me correct, Dustin Stallings won our Kansas race in the playoffs last season. And be interested to see if that 93 can produce something out of that, as he was a winner not too long ago also. So he was able to break through there not too long ago in that 93.
Yeah, and we talked about it's like running the track for the first time, but there are some things about the track that just don't change that much. And especially talking about early on in the run where the high side really works. That's the lane you're traditionally used to running. So you're not going to have to worry about too much. But what I'm seeing different now than what we saw in the ARCA series is guys, really everybody's going to the bottom. Nobody's really stuck in their ways trying to make the high side work here. But up for the lead now, Curtis Preston charging for John Willett. Hunter Hayward gets a big run.
As he does, you see side-by-side racing like that's going to slow him down. Curtis Preston to the lead here in the final moments of the stage. Hunter Hayward up the second now as John Willett slides back to third in the top 3 up here. Man, I tell you what, great move from Curtis Preston. Great move from Hunter Hayward here. As you see Hayward now directly ahead of that 81 here, coming off of 4. Can he set something up here to get a stage win here at the Kansas Speedway? As I believe he pulled that stage win off last week there at Talladega, that first stage win. So can he replicate another stage win here in the Cup Series? We'll have to see, as the battle behind him, GT Rosari lets the 9 Jadrosich get to his outside. And man, great racing we're having here in the final moments of this stage.
Kevin Jadrosich really making the outside work pretty well, able to carry a lot of momentum. Ooh, a little wiggle trying to keep it off the wall there. Now he's going to look to make the pass on the 3 of Bob Fitzpatrick, but Travis Everett following suit right behind him, trying to take the position away from his teammate at GT Rosari. But at the front, Hunter Hayward stalking Curtis Preston. And I was thinking, Zach, this is a bit reminiscent of last week at Talladega, where he was able to pass coming out of turn 4 to steal that stage win.
Oh, I lost a little time there in 3 and 4. But what kind of statement would that be for this young man to come out here? Very young man, I must point out, 15-year-old young man come out here and just, come out here in the Cup Series, show his domination that he put down in the ARCA Series, and carry it straight to this Cup car. That's got to strike some fear personally into this field.
Well, I don't even think seeing it right now or last week is going to strike the fear into any of these guys. I think seeing the way that he was really dominating in the ARCA Series, 3 wins and 3 starts. I think he had 4 wins and 5 starts before he got the call up. Once they got the word that he was going to be filling in, they probably started shaking in their boots right then, and he's showing that shaking in the boots is well deserved here. He has been to the front 2 weeks in a row now, contending for stage wins and overall race victories.
Yeah, I mean, competing against last season's champion, looking very strong right now. As you can see, John Willett now sliding back to that 5th position as Travis Everett's going to make the pass there on that 81. Looks like the 81's starting to go away here late in the going of this stage here. So see how it shakes out. You got Nolan Potter battling Trevor Massetti here. Looks like Massetti trying to make this pass and just slide himself up into the 8th spot. And then he'll try to see if he can track down Bob Fitzpatrick before the end of the stage.
Like guys are finally starting to come off the bottom just a little bit, seeing that it's not quite working. Looks a little bit tight for a lot of these guys. They just cannot get back to the throttle. And I noticed that a little bit early in the run as well. It just seems like they're getting really snug off the corner running the bottom.
Yeah, with 2 to go here in the stage for stage number 1, man. If I'm Hunter Hayward, he's 2/10 behind Curtis Preston here. I think he's got to try a different line. I don't think you can follow in the tracks of this 29 up front and get it done. As we go into 3 and 4 here, they'll be taking the white flag here coming soon. And I just don't think you're going to get it done following.
I don't think so either. I think, coming to 2 to go, I think he would had to have moved to the middle line. But now, final lap for the stage here. He looks like he moved up to the middle line now. Going to try to get a run down the backstretch and maybe make something happen in the 3.
Yeah, moves up a little bit of a groove. Not going to look like it's going to formulate nothing as Curtis Preston holding strong here in the final laps of stage number 1. This past series champion says, I want to get me another victory and make myself a multi-time winner this season and push himself farther up them standings because, it started off rough for him this season, but he's going to get the checkered flag here for stage number 1 here tonight at the Kansas Speedway as the top 10 drivers will have crossed the line.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
And there is the caution for the stage. I was waiting for it there. And Curtis Preston, your stage 1 winner, followed by Hunter Hayward in the 48. 3rd is going to go to Kevin Giadershitz. 4th is Travis Everett. 5th, John Willett. 6th, GT Arizari. 7th is Bob Fitzpatrick. 8th, Trevor Massetti. 9th, Nolan Potter. 10th, Nathan Campbell. 11th, James Courtroad. 12th, Kevin Ruff. Oh, wow, sorry. I went past the top 10. But Nathan Campbell there rounding out your top 10 for the stage points winners.
Well, Zach, this first stage here says anything. It's that, we've got a lot of battling left throughout this race. I'm excited to see, now with the track getting a little more rubbered in, a little more heat, a little bit cooled off as we're transitioning into night. How this restart, how aggressive are these guys going to be on the fresher tires, trying to get track position. And man, I'm so excited for this. I'm so happy with the way that this track change has worked out. It's produced some amazing racing.
Yeah, we had guys getting it done really everywhere on the track. So you can't complain when it comes to that personally. Here's to see everybody hitting pit road here to start their freaky fast pit party here. Brought to you by Lee Tidwell. Lee would be like, that's not good enough, Zach. That's not good enough. You cannot do the pit party like that. But I can't do it. I'm scared to break my mic. When he does it, he just, he breaks his mic sometimes.
Oh no, it looks like Alex Rudolph missed his pit box.
Oh no. That's gonna lose a lot of track position for him. Looks like Curtis Preston should win the race off there. Yes, he does. So Curtis Preston, stage winner and race winner off of pit road. Let's see if we can bring him down here and get talking here with him now, as we had some issues with him for the time before, but let's see what he has to say this time. Here to talk to Brady Cobb.
Hey Curtis, yeah, you got your ears on, bud?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay, well, sorry about your interview, bud. I don't know, maybe we were having some issues with Discord here, but congratulations on this Stage 1 victory. Started from the pole, fell back a little bit, and trailed behind John Willett there for a while, but were able to charge back and get the lead, and then didn't look back there. Man, how is the racing out there? It seems like the multi groove's really working well, and it's a lot of battling.
Oh, it is. Ton of fast cars out here in the drafts, keeping everybody on top of each other for at least the first 10, 15 laps. I think track position is going to be a big thing tonight. We just kind of got behind the 81 there and was trying to take care of the right front. It seemed to work for us. We'll see what happens here.
Well, I made the observation that it seems like toward the end of that run, you guys were looking a little bit on the tight side. Running the bottom just seemed quite a bit snug coming up off the corner. How bad really was it? Was it tightening up out there for you guys?
Yeah, it definitely snugs up quite a bit, a lot tighter than what we want it to be. I'm sure it's a lot worse when you're behind another car there, but we had clean air towards the end. But it's manageable. But that's going to be the name of the game all night, I think, is manage the right front.
Well, it sounds good, man. We're excited to watch you guys try to learn and navigate this and just try all these different lanes. It's been a blast so far, and look forward to seeing what you guys can do for stage 2 here. And wish you the best of luck. Hopefully, talk to you at the end of the next stage and keep it all together, and maybe go for the three-peat with the overall victory here tonight at Kansas.
All right, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
All right, that was Curtis Preston, last year's series champion here at the RSR Cup Series. Right now, your stage 1 winner of tonight. So looking strong, pole setter, stage 1 winner. If he can do that, he can pull off the grand slam of races. Stage 1, stage 2, get the win and get the pole. I'll call that the freaky fast grand slam.
Have we seen anyone do that?
I
So
can't think of anybody who has personally, but I'm sure someone has probably. I would think someone has, but I can't think of something in recent memory of that, Brandon.
Curtis Preston, for illustrious prestige here in the Freaky Fast record books.
Right? Freaky Fast record books are very special, and I tell you what, these guys have a lot of records here at the RSR Cup Series and the Evolution Racing League's got a lot of records here. Very, very, very close finishes throughout these races we've called here, and some great battles. And I tell you, this is going to be another great one here. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in here, as always, on Freaky Fast Broadcasting here with the Cup Series tonight, as we'll get ready to bring these 550 horsepower Cup cars back to full speed. Green flag is in the air. Curtis Preston off and away. Great restart for him. Travis Everett's teammate slides into the second position as the battle ensues from third on back.
Like Bob Fitzpatrick in the 3 maybe shifted a little bit too early there, lost a whole lot of momentum. Guys had to check up. Also saw some guys blocking on the apron going past the start finish line, so they know how important this track position is. Ooh, as it looks like
big wreck in front of the field, and that is going to bring calamity out here as multiple drivers involved here. Hard hits, hard licks all around. Man, oh man, how did that start there for the 9? Here to bring out the caution here, brought to you by ORR Nissan Central.
I think it just a little bit free going. No, I don't even know. He just didn't turn.
Yeah. I think it just went straight right, man. Don't know exactly what happened to Giadder's there, but look at these guys dodging him. Nathan Campbell there in the 52. Good job on him. Looks like the 22 Harold Watkins there taking a hit. Who is that? And Dustin Stallings, Michael Sheffield in the 1. Multiple cars involved here in this incident, man. And unfortunate, Giadder's just running so good. And there's a little more contact back here. So close for a few of these guys getting through, just not able to. As look at the smoke, through the smoke there. There comes a car. I believe that was the 4 of Stephen Carey here tonight, filling in for Brock Potter.
Sometimes when it rains, it pours.
Yes. Well, our third caution of the evening brought out for incidents, as we've had our other caution for the stage. But man, this track is showing wild at the beginning. Once they get going and get a little spread out, it's not too bad, but it's very wild. And That's what I'm seeing so far, man. These restarts, you got to get what you can because of the dirty air. Like we heard Curtis Press talk about that clean air, how nice it was. You got to get what you can here early, but man, it gets risky here with these big runs and big packs they got.
Yeah, and you know, running this close together, if something happens ahead of you, there's not a lot of room to maneuver. We saw it right there. A lot of cars getting involved. Looking at it, I think that may have been some type of a technical issue going on with his equipment, because I thought at first looking at it, it looked like he maybe got a little bit free going in and just kind of overcorrected it. But looking back on the replay, everybody saw he just kind of never turned it into the corner. So I'd have to say that's some technical issues there, and I'm sure he's not going to be too happy about that. Unfortunate for everybody else that was caught up as a result.
I think that you're exactly right about that. I think it might have been some technical issue there because it just went dead right, man. It wasn't even close. It's unfortunate though for Giadricic running so well up in the top 3, top 5 so far through the night, and going to take a heavy hit there here at the Kansas Speedway as we are back under caution. But thank you everybody for tuning in out there in chat to let us know how you're doing. Let us know how the sights and sounds are here from the Kansas Speedway, and what's the race so far through stage number 1.
We're riding around under here. Got to point out that somehow, miraculously, Kevin Dowd in the 84 filling in tonight for Daniel Gonzalez made it through all of that. Looked pretty unscathed. Great job filling in for Daniel tonight, who's a bit under the weather, the ill effects of going through his chemotherapy. So wishing you the best, Daniel. Sure you're watching, bud, and see on the back of the car here, get well soon, Gonzo. So everybody here with Evolution Racing League's got you in their thoughts, my man.
Definitely do, Daniel. Get well, buddy, and we love you out there here for Freaky Fast and everybody here from the Evolution Racing Leagues, and great job there on Kevin Dow filling in for him tonight. Great job missing that wreck, not only, but beautiful paint scheme, and yeah, man, we're all rooting for you, buddy. As it looks like we are about to get ready to go back green flag racing here, guys. Pace car lights are out. We're double file back up here for stage number 2, looking to get to lap number 70 here for the end of stage number 2. Drivers should be able to make it on fuel now with these caution laps, and we'll see how it shakes out here. I mean, we've seen great racing at first stage. What can Hunter Hayward do is he started 15th at the beginning of this race and was able to get the second before the end of stage 1. Can this better starting position to third translate to a better run here in the future?
Well, having raced with Hunter Hayward quite a bit, I know, you know, the short run doesn't favor him very well. We saw at the end of that first run, he was able to pull out a lot of speed, so I look for the long run to be the strength of that 48 tonight, Zach.
Yes, it will be green flag back in the air as we ride on board here with Kevin Dowd as he fills in for Daniel Gonzalez here tonight. That's number 84. Great start throughout the whole entire field here, man. Single file up front, but some blocks being thrown all around. Definitely drivers feeling a little bit frisky, trying to keep hold of that track position here early in the going.
Well, I tell you, I'm sure, you know, as a driver, you can echo this sentiment, Zach. Anytime anybody throws a block on you like that, you remember each and every person that's done it in the race. And eventually, you're not going to lift for that block anymore. You're just going to send somebody off into the corner, and it's up to them to save it or not.
I tell you what, great run for the 15-year-old Hunter Hayward. He's to the lead in the 48, taking that pass over Curtis Preston in the 29. Here comes the 14 GT Sorry teammates as slide job racing side by side off of turn 4 as they race for second. Hunter Hayward going to lead this lap.
Well, I'm going to have some words with Hunter Hayward after the race here. I just talked about how the short run wasn't his strong suit, and he went out here and proved me wrong. I'm going to need him not to do that anymore. But runs 48 here, taking the lead. Really a statement. You know, these guys, They're gonna have to race him, and they're gonna have to know that now.
Yeah, he's making statements here multiple times, but I tell you what, up front, GT Azari, I tell you what, the statement might be to the back bumper of this young man as the 14's coming through here. GT Azari here as they go down in a 1-2 side by side. Look at the three of Bob Fitzpatrick there with Curtis Preston. Curtis Preston definitely the fastest car, I feel like, on that last long run. Let's see if he can not lose too much ground here and keep himself in position for a stage one.
Well, young gun Hunter Hayward and the wily old veteran of GT. GT's saying, hey, you know, elders' rights here. Give him a little bump, get out of the way, get it to the back of the line, and let me show you how it's done. Trying to get that Mustang weak Ford Mustang some airtime.
Definitely is trying to get some airtime on that 14, man, and he's doing a great job. Here comes Hayward back to the bottom on Bob Fitzpatrick in the 3. He's getting some airtime in that number 3 machine. He's looking fantastic here tonight at Kansas, showing why he was a multiple-time winner last season.
Yeah, like we talked about, you know, he was having a strong run tonight, and his winless streak, looking to break it, and really looking strong in contention to do that right now. We talked about maybe there's going to be somebody who's able to come out and win for the first time this season tonight. Bob Fitzpatrick is looking to do exactly that.
Man, oh man, I tell you, the 29 there we see give him a little shot there to the 48 Hunter Hayward, get him going down into turn 3. He hangs on to that thing. Here is Preston tries to fight off Wellette and Massett.
And here for the lead, 3 wide going into turn 1.
Hayward makes the pass on the Bob. GT slides up the racetrack side by side with Fitzpatrick. Man, what a pass from the 48 to the lead. 3 wide now for second.
Oh, GT looking to roll out of it here, file back in, play it safe, get the positions back later. Man, it is a dog fight up here for the top 5.
Man, Kansas really definitely showing a lot of ability to move around for these drivers, make multiple things work as they race side by side here in the early going. Hunter Hayward, you're here, stage number 2. They're wrecking GT. Rosario goes around. John Willett. Multiple cars here as the 14 goes spinning, and man, I think he's all right. A little bit of right side damage, but man, oh man, what happened there to bring out our caution? Looks like that might have been contact between the 81 of John Willett as they were coming off of turn 2. It looks like Willett getting into the right rear of GT Rosario, that 14 sending him around in front of the field, and everybody did a great job of missing everything.
Heads up by the rest of the field behind them there to find a place to put their car and not pile into that. But man, unfortunate for GT. He just cannot seem to catch a break. Another strong run that looks like he's not going to get the finish that his speed showed that he deserved. Bad racing incident with the 81, looking to make it to the outside. Just kind of misjudged the distance there. GT trying to feign a block and ended in disaster for that 14.
Man, yeah, it's unfortunate for him, but I tell you what, it could have been a lot worse. Could have had a lot more damage. I think he will be able to recover from this and get that thing worked on, and should be able to still, I would salvage something out here tonight, if not a decent finish. So, man, unfortunate for that 14, but yeah, it's just unfortunate. You know, you go from the lead all the way to that 3rd position. As you're going to see the move being made here from Hunter Hayward to get to the inside of GT here, to take it to the inside of that 14 to make that pass. Actually, I don't believe it was on this, as I believe we may not have control of what's going on here.
These are in fact technical.
Yeah, we're having definitely some technical issues at the moment with the software. Definitely reports of that with our software here today. So looks like we're trying to figure that out as the replay continues on, and we are still under caution here. at lap number 55, looking to get to lap 70 to end stage number 2.
We've got some questions out on Facebook chat about James and the number 38. Currently running 5th, so great night for that 38 car out here. Looks like some family members in the chat out here to root him on.
Yes, sir. James Gordon out there in the 38, doing a fantastic job. And there you go. You see the incident there on the replays. I think our software is finally catching up with what happened there with the 14 and the 81. As we are still under caution with Hunter Hayward leading the way. I believe now we're 5 here on board with Travis.
Robert is picking it up here in the booth. Like a madman.
And this stage here, not much time left in it. Should get pretty wild, I think, here. If I'm Hunter Hayward, it's gonna be hard to hold off the rest of this pack here.
Well, if I'm Hunter Hayward, you know, we've got probably going to be about 13, 14 laps to go here in the stage. Lick the stamp and send it. You don't have to use these set of tires after the stage ends. You're going to take some fresh ones. So go ahead and use these ones up while you got them. Don't leave anything left on them.
Nah, definitely you want to use these things as much as you can, man. So gotta use what you got. You run what you brung, as they say. As we'll get ready to go back green flag racing, as we finally got this thing double file back up. Curtis Preston, man, I tell you what, he's I think he could go for the good old freaky fast grand slam here tonight.
Still got a really good chance of it, but Hunter Hayward is trying to deprive us of that joy of seeing him do that. But Bob Fitzpatrick also just behind Hunter Hayward got something to say about it as well. Trevor Massetti out there, Jay Culver on Facebook asking, saying, let's go Trevor Massetti. Well, he's up to 4th position, so a great run for the 88 as well.
Great runs going on all around this field here as the pace cars are going to pull in this time. So we'll get ready to go back green flag race. There goes Hunter Hayward off and away. Great start for him there as he gets away from this field. Fitzpatrick and Preston racing down to turn 1. Can they claw the lead back to this 48?
Well, I think the longer they're side by side, the more of an advantage Hunter Hayward's going to have. But Bob Fitzpatrick, not wanting to stay side by side, going to slide up in front of Curtis Preston here. Curtis Preston going to look to cross him back over going into 3.
Back into 3, crossover for that 29. Back into 2nd here as he makes the pass coming off of 4. They're going to have a big run on this 48. Hayward, what is he going to do to cover it off? That's the question, because they got the draft. Here it comes down into 1 and 2. 29 goes up the racetrack, but I don't think nothing's going to happen there with that run. Actually, pretty good run there through the middle. Can he get to the outside of this 48 as they go down the back straightaway? He gets to the inside of the 48, and he's there.
Ooh, that was close.
Very close fighting here at the end of this stage here, man. The 48's going to slide back in. Does he pull the crossover? Here comes the 29 with the big block down on the apron early in this race.
Talk about using up the tires. That they are using them up a ton with moves like that. Just keeping that thing hooked to the left off the corner, covering off every bit of real estate to their inside here. Bob Fitzpatrick stalking the 48 now.
Big run here for 2nd place man of Hunter Hayward. He goes down into the corner, but look at that, the 29 putting that dump of that dirty air on that front of that nose. It's going to slow that 48 down as they enter the corner. And there you see it, back to 48 up. Here comes the 3 of Bob Fitzpatrick. Where does he go? Looking to the outside, down into 1.
Hunter Hayward really sailing it off, but the arc that Curtis Preston's able to get going into the corner, it's helping him with his exit. A little bit of a slide there maybe out of the 29, kind of caught his momentum a little bit, allowed Hunter Hayward to keep even with him. Hunter Hayward, he hasn't really changed up his line too much from the last stage here.
Yeah, kind of doing the same thing he's been doing, holding that bottom lane. And he's got Fitzpatrick trying to fight around the outside here, and he's been hounding him this whole entire time. Got to get to lap 70 here as we just completed lap 61, start at lap 62. Fitzpatrick with the run down the back straightaway. Here comes the 18, and he got the 54 and the 42 battling here for position.
That battle's all around the track right now. A lot of side-by-side racing here. Guys trying to eke into the top 10 to get those valuable stage points.
Everybody trying to get stage points. That's very valuable. I mean, we've seen how much it worked out for guys in the playoffs. Stage points ended up being a savior for some people.
And you don't want to have to rely on them to save you, but that's kind of what they're there for. It's just that extra little bit of insurance to kind of pad yourself in case you have a bad race or two, and it hurts to not finish a race. But if you can get good stage points for the first stages and get knocked out at the end, that's a lot better than just finishing last place or so. Getting the points for that, it helps a tremendous amount.
Curtis Preston here still holding on to that lead over Hunter Hayward out front. Third's going to be Bob Fitzpatrick, Trevor Massetti in the fourth position. Fifth is Nathan Campbell. Sixth, Matthew Rush. And look at this, Brandon. This is showing that passing is a legit thing here tonight. First place is first. That started first, Curtis Preston. But from there, it's 15th, 10th, 16th, 14th, and 26th, man.
Yeah, Matthew Rush talked about him last week, and I believe at Richmond as well. Having a really good night tonight, up 20 positions, slowly coming alive now as the season comes on here in that 11.
Well, we can't forget one of the Final Four contenders last season. Do not count that 11 out. If he gets rolling, he could possibly be in a great position to situate himself for another playoff run late into the year.
Well, I'm not sure about their particular rules here for the RSR Cup Series, but as to whether or not Hunter Hayward's going to be playoff eligible, but I got to imagine that so far the two races that we've seen out of that 48, he's going to be very likely to be contending for the playoffs if he is eligible come time for those to start here.
Yeah, that's a good question, Brandon. I have to do a little research with that there and look into it. Not straight off the top of the head do I know. But, yeah, Hayward, he's going to have to win, though. That's the big thing. He's going to have to break into the winner's circle. He ain't going to be able to get it done by pointing his way, I think, just by points with this latest start in the season. But you never know. Young man's got a lot of talent. He could possibly win a race right now, challenging for that lead in the second position as those two start to break away. And it's kind of telltale. I mean, these two look like the class in the field here. I mean, after about 20 laps, these two really start to separate themselves from the rest of the guys.
Looking to be the strongest two for sure. And it's just kind of telling to me how much the clean air is going to matter for, Hunter Hayward here. He needs to be able to find a way to stay in front of Curtis Preston, not allow him to get that advantage and get ahead when the tires get worn, because it's looking incredibly difficult for him to really make a pass, trying to keep up, but he can't do much with Curtis Preston right now.
Yeah, it's just he's close, but like you said, he just can't do nothing with it. And he's changing it up now, trying to change his lineup. It looks like from behind, and I like that. Like, just try something else out as Preston starts to pull away here. He's going to take the white flag here for stage number 2 and see if he can go for that second stage win here tonight. That's it. He's getting closer and closer to the Freaky Fast Grand Slam.
And it's Curtis Preston, not led every single lap, but he's been there when it counts, and that's the most important thing here. He just comes out of nowhere later in the runs and storms back to the front as he comes back across the start-finish line here to win stage 2.
Yes, he does. Checker flag in the air. Stage 2 over as Curtis Preston, your winner here, stage number 2 tonight for the RSR Cup Series. Second's going to go to Hunter Hayward again. Third's going to go to Bob Fitzpatrick. Great run there in that stage. Fourth's going to be Trevor Massetti. Fifth is Kevin Ruff. Sixth, Nathan Campbell. Seventh, Matthew Rush. Eighth is going to go to Nolan Potter Knight, Adam Buzzio, and rounding out your top 10 is last week's winner, Ryan Bean from Talladega. So congrats to those top 10 guys there in stage number 2, as they got some valuable bonus points. They're going to help them out in their playoff situation here tonight at the Kansas Speedway as we ride on board with our stage winner. He'll be looking to bring it down pit road here, and after he comes off pit road, Brandon will get a third chat with him. Well, I guess we'd call it second since the first didn't play out.
Good luck with the pole award interviews here tonight.
Yeah, right.
And while we got a second, Ryan Azell said something over the race chat to us. I couldn't quite hear it over the cars. So if Ryan, if you're listening, you can go ahead and repeat that so I can hear you and go ahead and relay it.
I'm glad you have the radios on because I wouldn't hear it. So we got Brandon's good about. He's hearing all the race officials out there letting us know exactly what's going on. But man, I tell you what, great racing through the first 2 stages as these drivers come down pit road here and look to change tires and change fuel here at the Kansas Speedway for race number 10 here tonight. It's been fun to watch this man right here, Curtis Preston, put on a show. He's had the challenge of the 48 of Hunter Hayward so far, but can he fight him off to get that final win here in this final stage to fulfill the Freaky Fast Grand Slam?
Well, I believe, Zach, that the information that I was getting is that I believe Hunter Hayward will be playoff eligible.
Okay. So interesting. So if he can get himself a win.
That is the answer, that he will be playoff eligible.
Okay. Very good to hear there. Thank you for that, Ryan. Ryan's always gotta love Ryan. Ryan is so in tune with it, man. He's got it going. He's letting us know when we need to know certain information, and we gotta thank these guys here at the Evolution Racing League for always giving us the information to do our jobs, Brandon. Because I can tell you what, without the information we got from them, we couldn't do as good as we do up here.
Absolutely makes it worlds easier when we have the wealth of information provided to us that they give to us. It really allows us to more so sound like we know what we're talking about. So helps a bunch.
Yeah, we try to act like we know stuff, right? But
yeah,
usually I don't know how that usually works out too well, but it we'll figure it out as we go. We'll figure it out. We're getting better. We're getting better, and that's all that matters, Brandon. But man, I tell you what, we've had a nice, good long look here at Curtis Preston here. He seems pretty collected, but we're gonna bring him up here as they have now come off pit road and got ready. Let's hear what he has to say about winning stage number 2 here tonight and looking to go for the trifecta.
Hey, Curtis, Brandon up in the booth, bud. How's it going?
It's going all right. How about you, Brandon?
Well, I can't complain. It's been an exciting race so far, and stage 2 winner, stage 1 winner, pole award winner, one away from what we're dubbing the Freaky Fast Grand Slam, sweeping everything here tonight. So, and you're looking really strong case to do it. Still falling back a little bit during that stage, but charging back to the front. It seems like it's a lot easier for you to pass than a lot of other guys. You know, is there anything that you're doing different? Something you figured out maybe that's helping you out a little bit do that?
You just because you can run the first 10 laps around here flat-footed doesn't mean you should, and you know what I mean by that. And once they start losing the right front and sliding the nose, it's easy picking.
Absolutely, know exactly what you mean by that, and I have to say we noticed you were saving quite a bit, but just enough to not fall out of reach of these guys, and it's worked out pretty well for you here because you've been able to get back to the front, and then once you do, you know, Hunter Hayward been the strongest competition for you. Haven't been able to do much other than just kind of stay in your tire track. So great job from you so far tonight, and man, I've got to wish you the best of luck again here for this final stage. Try to keep that car clean and bring it back home for the victory.
Yeah, we'll see what we can do here, man. A lot of racing left to do. We'll do our best, man. You guys enjoy the rest of the race.
All right. You heard it there. We're going to enjoy the rest of the race. That man's right, because he's been putting on a show out there for us, and we got to appreciate all these guys out here putting on a show each and every week here at the RSR Cup Series. But I tell you what, I think GT and Travis Everett here stayed out as they pitted before last stage, and here they come leading the field to green flag here, Brandon.
Well, we saw it work out pretty well at Talladega. I don't know if it's going to work out too much here as they take the green. We will have to see.
Yes, it will. Green flag is out. GTs are leading the way with Travis Everett. Let's see what Hunter Hayward can do here. I think he's got to play the patient game here. Slot in behind that 29 Curtis Preston. Smart move from the young man in the 48. Slides down, gets past the 14 GT Rosari, who I think is just going to try to hold on here for now and save him an extra set of tires.
They're 3 wide already for the lead.
Wow. And I want to laminate something there as we see this great racing for the lead here as Hayward takes the lead here. I want to print that out on a piece of paper, what Curtis Preston said. Just because you can run wide open for the first 10 laps doesn't mean you have to. And that is what separates a fast driver from a driver that has a lot of wisdom. And that's what Curtis Preston has. He knows how to set himself up for that long run, and he has the speed. He can run fast on these short runs if he wanted to, but he's choosing to do this right here, and that's what's setting him up to pull away in these long runs.
That exactly right there, Zach, is what you call experience and racing IQ. He knows exactly what he needs to do, and what he can do isn't necessarily what he should do.
Yeah, and you hit the nail on the head here in the booth. So I tell you what, look at this though. Preston says you might want to get the leader back here a little bit earlier, or maybe just push this 48 here, Hunter Hayward, a little bit farther. I mean, Hunter Hayward yet to win here in the Cup Series. You know, it's got to be a little bit in his head. So you got a past series champion here fighting you hard. You might push your stuff a little too hard, maybe burn it up here racing with him.
Well, I know Hunter Hayward is fast. Obviously, we've seen him contending. Every race he's in, his name is mentioned as somebody who is a threat. But he is still, as we touched on, he's still on the young side. So there's still a lot of inexperience out of him. We got a caution.
We do. Another early call. Oh, whoa, John Will in the fence, guys. So the 81, that's all I know is the 81. Oh, some contact. I believe that was the 38 and the 54 Anthony Younes of James Courtrow, and Anthony Younes getting contact, and I think that led to some contact with the 81. We'll try to go back here on the Freaky Fast replay, show you exactly what happened. Yep, there's a contact, 31 to 81. Now watch this 81 here. He's going to slide. He's going to go down here through the grass, and he's going to find a new home located in the middle of 3 and 4 here.
I think that might be, well, not exactly this track, but anytime I think of anybody getting in the fence, that's the Austin Dillon grandstand.
Man, oh man, look at that car fly through the air. And heavy hit there to come to a stop on the outside. That's going to break over for John Willett. And I tell you what, this has been a tough night for our leading team coming into the points, the Elite Racing Group. Tough night. Cody McCauley right now points to coming night 35th, 39 laps down out of this race. Kevin Giatter sits 38 laps down, 34th out of this race. You got Dylan Reed in 29th, who's had a tough night with damage. Now you got John Willett, who's going to be out of this race in the 81. And then really your lone hope is the 42 Alex Rudolph, who's in 18th. So right now that team falling apart here at Kansas tonight with their points lead.
It really is, and it's not something that's completely out of the ordinary. Sometimes you have races like that where it seems like one team in particular just kind of catches the brunt of everything. But while we're under this caution here, forgot to do it during the last caution, as we had quite a bit to talk about and some interviews to get through. But our mid-race recap, as we talked about, Curtis Preston winning the pole award, stage 1 and stage 2, looking to go for the Grand Slam here and bring home the win. This will be our 4th caution, I believe, for on-track contact, not including our stages. But a couple leaders so far, and one wreck at the start of stage 2 that took out a big handful of cars. too many really to to name. But other than that, been really good racing, and iRacing doing us proud here with their latest update.
Oh man, they definitely are, Brandon. They have really just improved the quality of the racing. I mean, it's it's a huge adjustment in my opinion to be able to call a race here where we're fighting all over the racetrack for grip. So very cool to see. Happy to see iRacing, stepping up and bringing something very innovative and new. Like we had this a few years ago. They've been working through a new tire model, trying to make it work with the dynamic tracking, which it's just been a tough time. But they've figured out a new solution just by adding grip to certain parts of the track and stuff. And maybe this dynamic track also starting to come back with a little bit of the tires being affected to where the cleaner part of the track's the faster spot. So, in which I can tell you before this last update, you did not want to run on the clean part of the track. That was the slow part of the track. So big shift there, and it's just really cool to see iRacing continuing to better themselves. Like we got great cars and great physics and stuff, but I feel like the racing could always use an improvement, and we got it with this update.
And by no means is it perfect, but it's never gonna be. It's such a moving target that they're constantly trying to hit, but they've made great strides at it. And also, a lot of it has to do with the fact that these are fixed setups. All the cars are running the exact same setup here, so what is going to be the fastest lane for that setup? It tends to be the fastest lane for every single car, and there's not much you can really do about that. But it's also made the other lanes more competitive, and that is what we asked for, and that is what we got. So again, for the millionth time tonight, hats off to iRacing for this update. It is, from what I've seen from it so far, been absolutely incredible.
Very good way to put it there, Brandon. I gotta tell you, man. Happy that we can say we have multi groove racing back for a few of these tracks because it's been a it's been a few years, man. But now we're getting it back. They're starting to fine tune this, and it can only get better from here. That's all I know. And especially with the new Cup car being added here in the next following year, it's a bright future for the oval side of things here on iRacing. And we can only give iRacing the props they deserve, but props who deserves is Curtis Preston as the pace car pulls off and he gets ready to go back. Green flag racing off and away is the 29 as the 48 jumps down to the bottom. Kevin Rush trying to take third from Trevor Massetti as this field is all jumbled up, and this racing is going to be great here in this final stage.
Absolutely, these guys, a lot of the field really got spread out on this restart. Was kind of surprised about that. Everybody getting more or less single file here, but as the draft kicks in, when they get up to speed, they're going to be pulling side by side here. But Hunter Hayward back underneath Curtis Preston to take the lead.
Yeah, it seems like a common theme there to see him take the lead early in the going, and then Preston fight back, take the lead from him. So I'm wondering if Hayward can time it right to get out in front of him at the right time. Can he use that dirty air to his advantage? Because we've seen Preston, as the run went on, start to slowly gap Hayward, and maybe that could have been dirty air affecting Hayward not being able to run the line he wants to run.
Well, it for sure the dirty air's affected him, but I think the dirty air's just kind of compounding the issue with the worn tires because Hunter is being so aggressive on these restarts and just really, keeping his foot in the gas and using up all the grip at the start of the run. We talked to Curtis about, not being full throttle, and it's allowed him to save a lot, as we've seen, be able to stretch it out once he's been able to take the lead back. And you would think, looking at it, that if it comes down to a short run, Hunter Hayward's got this in the bag. But the fact of the matter is, we have not seen Curtis Preston push on a short run yet. And the fact that he hasn't pushed on a short run yet and still been able to keep up as well as he has, I don't think Hunter's going to have anything for him on the short run when Curtis decides that he's got to put the hammer down.
Yeah, these short runs is definitely interesting. The only thing I think it's personally the guy in second sits in a pretty good position, in my opinion, in these short runs with the way this package is. You seem like you just get such a good run here early in the going. Man, they're battling hard for third with Cav and Ruff side by side with that number 88 Trevor Massetti as they race to 3 and 4. I tell you what, that was so close between those two. Looking back here at Casey Kunstad on the 31, he's up to the 15th position from 31st. It's a lot of good movement throughout this whole entire field, man.
Yeah, some misfortune as always, allowing guys to kind of make up positions, get some freebies here and capitalize on them. And 31 of Casey Kuntz was really running strong last week at Talladega. Had a really good strategy. Unfortunately, a little bit of mistimed pit stop there, got a penalty, and kind of was all for naught for him. But looking to battle back for a top 10 now at Kansas.
Yes, he is fighting hard. Here's Harold walking to the 22, directly behind GT Rosario there for the 21st position. Look at Ryan Ezel, 34th to 22nd for him. So good race climbing up for him. Look at James Cordero trying to battle him for that 23rd position as these drivers continue on here early in the race with Kevin Dowd there directly behind the 24th. David Hall at 21 and 25th. 26, you got Michael Martino. 27th, you got the 131 of Dylan Reed, who's had a tough night here with a 3-time winner this season. Kevin Sabilla in the 78 there, 28th. And rounding out your final car on the lead lap is J.R. Miller. And I tell you what, that 28, he ain't got no front end, but he's fighting along and putting laps in. You never know, he could get a few positions before this thing ends if anything gets into it.
That's what you got to do, even if you're got a car that's a little bit down on power or really cosmetically messed up like that 28 is. Just keep plugging away, turn the lap. And something might happen to some guys and you'll be able to capitalize on a couple extra positions that may make all the difference come time for the playoffs.
Battle for the lead. Curtis Preston going around the outside here of this 48. He had a big run last time. Let's see if the 48 can fight back on the bottom. Great run there for Hayward on the bottom as they come nose to nose here down the front straightaway. It's heating up here for this top spot. Can Hayward hold him off? But I think Preston's sitting in a good spot on the outside lane.
I'm not so sure. It looks like Hunter's got the advantage in 1 and 2, but 3 and 4, the biggest difference I'm seeing here is Curtis able to kind of arc it in quite a bit more than the 48, but also Hunter Hayward's really pinching the exit down. He's not fanning out as much as he should to kind of capitalize, neutralize the run that Curtis Preston's going to have. If he's going to be able to clear him here and use the dirty air to his advantage, he's going to have to do it soon. Otherwise, it's just a matter of time before Curtis Preston's able to pass him and pull away again.
Man, they're fighting hard for this lead here in the closing stages of this race. Still have one pit stop left for these drivers to make, but Hayward and Preston fighting tooth and nail right now to get that clean air here for the final part of this run before they pit. But Trevor Massetti here in the 88 looking strong as he closes into the picture with the 52 of Nathan Campbell directly behind. Oh, and here comes the lap car of Junior Miller. Oh, that caught us off guard real quick, and Curtis Preston makes a big move. He goes back to the outside down the back straightaway.
Yeah, and Hunter Hayward's just not wanting to he could have thrown the block there and got up in front of Curtis Preston, but he's not willing to open up the inside. He's not going to make that mistake again that cost him the lead last time by. He's making Curtis Preston do this the hard way.
Yes, he is making him try to go around the outside. That 48 hanging tough this time. The most we've seen him hold off this 29 here, Curtis Preston. And this is the longest we've seen. But I tell you what, off of 2 here, let's see what the 29 can do. Side by side, a little bit better run from the 29, but nothing special from the top. I think the bottom definitely possibly the preferred groove is it's side by side now for third, too, with Nathan Campbell coming into the picture with 52.
Nathan Campbell up 10 positions now, having a really strong run. Fighting back up here with Trevor Massetti from the top 3. Cavender up, faded a little bit, our Martinsville winner, but still hanging tough in the 5th position in the 112.
Still side by side for the lead. These two have been side by side for so long now. As man, nobody wanted to give up that top spot, but I think this time might be it for the 29. Looks like he's got the rolling momentum here as he breaks free on the exit. New leader, Curtis Preston, clearing in front of the 48. Let's see if he does what he's done in every stage before and set sail here as the run continues on.
If I'm Hunter Hayward now, I've got to be thinking about when is the pit stop going to come. I've got to undercut Curtis Preston, get ahead of him here, and make him burn his stuff up to get back to me to have the best chance to get the victory here tonight, because it seems like outright speed, Curtis Preston's it's a much better job of managing his tires.
He really does, man. And this is something. This is kind of similar to what we've seen. Now these two starting to break away a little bit from that third place car, Trevor Massetti, and this is something we've seen similar through the whole entire stages. Is where the 29 gets out front, the 48 gets to second, and then it's kind of a stalemate from there as the 29 drives away this time. I'll tell you what, Curtis Preston looking to take that grand slam home, and I tell you what, it was a good night to come up with a name for that.
Yeah. Just pulling names out of a hat. We happened to pull the right one at the first time around. And it's not too much. The last time by, Curtis Preston just under a tenth quicker than Hunter Hayward here. Looks like the gap's 3/10. Draft is really helping Hunter keep in the fight. But just every corner, it grows and grows and grows just a little bit at a time.
Yeah, he just continues to gap him just a teeny bit each and every time. And really good. Looking here at the 25 of Ryan Bean, right behind Bob Fitzpatrick, running in the 8th position.
Well, Ryan Bean showing that he's not just good at plate tracks. He can come out here, run the 1.5 miles, and string together some good finishes. And talked about Bob Fitzpatrick directly ahead of him. I went and looked at the stats for this season. Bob Fitzpatrick without a single top 10 so far this season, so he is really looking to get a top 10 here.
Yeah, you could say he's desperate for one this week. We'll see if he can hold off there in that 7th position as Ryan Bean all over the back of him. He's our winner from last week. As look back now, Andrew Little here in the 13th position. You got Chad Beeson trying to hold off. It looks like the 31 of Casey Kuntz there on the bottom with 14 of GT Irizarry, who's kind of somewhat making a comeback here in the 15th position for this 14. I believe they were able to go in last time with that last caution, get some tires as they stayed out for that last caution. And he started to come forward here in the 14, even with that little bit of damage.
Well, the biggest thing that's helping their tech is the fact that, the off-throttle time now is a lot greater than it was at the start of the run where he's struggling with his damage. So he's able to make up the pace now, just having a little bit less speed early in the run, kind of naturally gravitates to having that longer run pace, and he's showing it now, slowly charging up to the field here, up to 15th, but desperately, I think, trying to figure out something to at least salvage a top 10 out of tonight.
Great racing going on back here with the 38 James Courtroan, with the 27 of Marc-Andre Thibodeau up top. Whew, at least Anthony Ewan's ahead of him in the 54. He got a little close to the wall on the exit there as he battles up in front of them, man. This track's definitely put on a show so far, man. It's been all over the place. I mean, look at the drivers all in different spots, and that's something we didn't see personally a month ago. Everybody was running similar lines before.
Yeah, it was all about trying to time that slide job and, figure out a good run to do it. We've got guys cycling into pit road now. Cabin Rupp, yeah. Ryan B, Adam Buzzio. I believe Marc-Andre Thibodeau also going to come in this time by. So pit stops.
Oh, good one. Really coming in there hot. Looks like Marc-Andre Thibodeau in there pretty hot with Kevin Dowd also in the 84. So multiple cars hitting pit road here, like Brandon said. Let's see when the leaders start to decide to do that. It's coming up. We're nearing the under 30 to go here as they cross the line. It'll be 30 to go right here. This time by for the leaders. So I'm thinking they go a few more laps and they're going to pit because it's not a long time to go at the end of this race.
Well, it's a risky maneuver, but thinking about anybody up here in the top 3, I would say pit with these guys now. Let Curtis Preston go and run his stuff out and make up the time on the fresher tires. Force him to use his up to get back to you and try to hold him off. I think that's the best chance these guys are going to have at Curtis Preston right now. And a lot of these guys that are undercut, taking this for, coming into pit as soon as they can make it to the end, they stand to make up a lot of track position because there's not a lot of time left in the race, and guys are going to have to use that time to try to get their track position back with fresher tires.
Yeah, this is the last set of tires we've seen the last ARCA Series race where Chris Smerol waited longer, and it played out well for him because he caught a caution. And then he had the freshest tires of the group up ahead and was able to easily drive up and through and pull off that win. So, does someone do that strategy? Stretch it as far as you can on fuel, and then have the freshest tires in the field compared to everybody else.
Oh, there's caution. Oh no, Trevor missed.
Not yet. Oh, there it is. Oh no, the 88 of Trevor Massetti. Big incident here in the apron of turn one. And I tell you what, Trevor Massetti had nowhere to go. He was just exiting pit road, guys.
It just a bystander that one. Yeah, just trying to come out of pit road, and cars just slide down into you. That has got to be the most unfortunate collection I've ever seen.
Check it out in a replay. Here's Anthony Younes and Stephen Baldwin getting into it, and there's the 88 of Trevor Massetti. That's when you just know it ain't your night. I mean, man, that's so crazy. The 4 of Stephen Carey also involved in that. Multiple other cars involved. Man, the 11 of Matthew Rush getting involved, getting a hit there. It was heavy contact for multiple cars, and the guys who pitted are going to suffer from that now. Bob Fitzpatrick, one of them.
I was just about to say, Zach, that this undercut, it works if it goes green, but we talk about all the time, the most dangerous part of the green flag pit cycle, where guys are on fresher and older tires, and that's where you're going to have the risk for the caution. And unfortunately, it just went well for a lot of these guys that decided to try that undercut.
Man, under ORR Nissan Central caution here tonight. It is going to get wild now coming down to the end here. It's going to have, somewhat of a, 25 to 20 lap run. I mean, does this play into the favor of that 48 Hunter Hayward here, as we've seen him be pretty quick in that portion of the run?
It's hard to say. They're going to be really equal if they're both pushing hard. The advantage, I would have to go to the leader with the dirty air. But I think there's enough time here that Curtis Preston's going to be able to save and then charge again like he had been and take the lead back.
Man, that's a few guys involved in that definitely didn't want to get involved in that thing.
Peter, Curtis Preston has got some pretty significant damage.
Does he?
Right front crank
on
that car is pretty hurt. I don't know when that happened. I'll have to go back and look.
That had to happen with that incident. I'm gonna actually go back farther here. Oh yes, to miss the incident in front of him, he got on the apron and hit the wall. Oh no! He was just trying to miss it, and he just barely clipped the apron, guys, and it just got him loose, and he went straight into the wall. And looking at that car, oh man, this may be the chink in the armor that he does not want to see.
Really, they're just trying to avoid a car that I can't put any. I don't know who that was, but there was a car that had it locked down, sitting in the center of the corner. I can't put any blame on that car. Make yourself predictable so guys can get around you. I almost kind of got to put the fault on, Curtis Preston. Just kind of came in there a little bit too hot, knowing something was going on. But unfortunate all the same. You never want to have that happen to the leader. Just get involved in an incident like that and take them out of the running. It's not over yet, but it's definitely not helping his case at all.
That's a terrible feeling for him in that 29. I hate to see that there, because I just want to see a good hard battle out here to the end here, and I definitely don't want to see that 29 have to suffer from that damage there. But I think it's going to hurt him here, Brandon.
Yeah, he's coming into pit now. See how much it takes to get it fixed. I think if you are Curtis Preston now, you have to get this fixed right now. Take the loss of track position. You're quick. Get the damage fixed. Hope nothing happens in front of you, because this is the only shot you got.
Yeah, it looks like from that pit stop he didn't get too much fixed here as we're lights out here, going to go green on the back straightaway, but he he's just got it's just a good little bit of right front. It's not terrible on right front, but the right rear is definitely kind of beat up. It's not pretty.
I think the biggest thing here is there's a little bit of a crinkle in the splitter to the right front off the nose there. Might hurt a little bit. We'll have to see, but I think now he's going to have to charge really hard to make up for the disadvantage of his aero.
We'll have to see, man. We'll have to see. Curtis Preston here trying to pull off the freaky fast grand slam. Pace car going to pull in this time. We're going to go back green flag racing. Does the damage hamper the 29? It's in his hands now. Green flag back in the air. Curtis Preston off and away. Look at the run from Travis Everett from behind. Oh, the 48 gets down to the bottom of Hunter Hayward. It's going to be Curtis Preston out front, Hunter Hayward in second. Third is Nolan Potter with Travis Everett on the outside of that 34 here as they come off a 2.
Well, and this is going to be a two-folded effect here. Curtis Preston's going to feel like his car's not driving the same because of the damage, whereas Hunter Hayward's going to feel like he is going to be wicked fast because the 29 is going to have the damage. That's a big confidence booster for the 48.
Definitely could possibly be the confidence booster for him here as they come down the front straightaway side by side. Hayward on the outside led that lap last time by to Curtis Preston here as they come off of turn number 2. I think the 48 may be able to take the lead here as they go off into 3. Not clear yet. Side by side still here. The 29 pulls back ahead down into 3. He looks to slide out of the racetrack, but there's the 48 back on the outside with the 34 fighting the 59. Travis Everett directly behind that.
And just behind them, James Corwin in the 8 rebounding nicely here, but also GT Irizarry in the 14 up to 6th place after his incident earlier. Just behind him, Chad Biesinger and I believe Harold Watkins in the 22 fighting up here for a top 10.
Up front, Hunter Hayward taking the lead, and oh man, I think it may affect that 29. As soon as he got behind him in dirty air, that thing shot up the racetrack. We'll see if that is where this thing really suffers, because out front it didn't look too bad, but man, we'll see if he can hang on. If he can pull this off with the damage, he drove the wheels off this thing here tonight.
Yeah, and Hunter Hayward's going to have to be smart here, knowing that he's going to have a harder time trying. He's got an opportunity here to take it a little bit easier, save a little bit more tire, and just kind of add a little bit of insurance here. Play to your advantage.
Yeah, 19 to go here now. I tell you, Hayward's doing an interesting thing. He's covering off the inside on exit and straightaways, and Preston really opening the corners up. I think for Hayward, you got to open it up a little bit. Don't burn yourself up too much here. You got 19 laps to go. It's not a 5-lap shootout here, you know. Got to be smart still to make your stuff last here if this thing goes full distance.
That's something that Hunter Hayward's been doing the entire race. Ever since Curtis Preston got that move to the inside, he has been covering the inside every single lap, and it's really, I think, what's hurt him the most. That is what's burned up his right front tire and made him get so tight and allow Curtis Preston to just kind of drive away. And again, still just covering it off. Getting such a shallow entry is going to do nothing but hurt that right front tire. Like you said, he really needs to open it up.
Yeah, and you see Preston gets so much closer to him in the middle of the corner in 3 and 4, and he's just using the racetrack where the 48 here not really using the racetrack. I think his goal is trying to break that draft, but I just think breaking that draft here this early, I mean, it's 17 to go, or 17 to go here. You can't really get away. So you got to kind of, I think, save your stuff till that final dash at the end of the race.
Exactly. Have that tire for when you need to make that move to cover the inside when he's actually trying to get there. And if anything, stay in front of him. If you're sweeping it out, you're keeping that dirty air on his nose on corner entry, which is going to hurt him with his corner speed. And that's what you need to do. Utilize your advantage as the leader. And he's finally started to sweep it out quite a bit here. But still, breaking the draft. That shallow entry is not the way to go.
Yeah.
I think it's come back to haunt him again because Curtis Preston, even with the damage, he can't pull away from him.
Yeah, and he just so much quicker through the middle of 3 and 4 where he's covering off the bottom like that. I mean, I understand coming off the bottom, but he's so far back, you're just hurting your run. His old Nolan Potter shoots up the racetrack a little bit in front of Travis Everett there for the third position. I tell you what, the battle's heating up there too for that third spot now as Travis Everett goes on by. It looks like Nolan Potter in that 34 as you got Alex Rudolph coming into the picture there also with the likes of Andrew Little and Nathan Campbell.
And Nathan Campbell making a strong run here, but the sole contending car for the elite racing groups and Alex Rudolph in the 42, trying to do his team proud here, carrying the banner for these guys as he's been somehow able to avoid the horrible luck that they've all found.
Yeah, definitely had not the luck they wanted here tonight for that team. They'll bounce back from it here. Kansas just been a tough one for them straight off the get-go with multiple drivers involved in that second caution there from their team. So just not the night they wanted. John Willett led some laps out here, but didn't end up the way he wanted either. As GT's trying to fight off Harold Watkins here in this 22, but just not getting it done on the outside here with that 23 coming up the inside too.
Yeah, these guys are battling really hard. GT just trying to cling to that top 10 here as the laps are winding down. Coming to, looks like 11 to go. So, man, I feel for GT. We talked to him last week, I believe, and especially last night, talking about his woes here in the Cup Series, just trying to find what he needs to do, and it just hasn't quite worked out for him. Just trying to gain a little bit of momentum and confidence here.
And I tell you what, 11 to go now out front. I don't know what's going to happen here as Hayward still hangs on the lead, but Travis Everett in the 59 making his first huge appearance up front, and he's putting pressure on his teammate of Curtis Preston. I think Preston, it may, I don't want to say over, but it's not looking great for him as the run continues on with that damage. Is side by side for second now up front. The 59 was there, but can he get back to the inside of the 29? If they race each other too hard here, can Hayward get away?
I think that's exactly what Hunter is planning on here. The teammates gonna race each other pretty hard, but Curtis Preston's really feeling the effects of that aero damage now, but still trying to just hang on to the door of his teammate here. But looks like by the time they come out of turn 4, Travis Everett going to be on the hunt for that 48 to try to take the lead before this thing's over with.
There he goes. Past his teammate Curtis Preston, moved himself up in the second. And look at this, Nolan Potter here too on Curtis Preston. He's looking to break into the top 3 here tonight.
Nolan Potter, great qualifying effort, down 2 positions here, rebounding the 4th. Fell back a little bit earlier, trying to squeak back into the top 3 like you said there, but Curtis Preston not going to make it easy even with his damage. Just trying to fight here, do everything he can.
And it looks like Nolan Potter getting that run in the 34. He's getting there. Can he say something about getting into this top 3? He's the winner already in the Cup Series this season. Looking to back that up here with another top 3 in this position here as I get kicked out of the racetrack for some reason.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Looking at the battle for 10th place, GT Irizarry still battling hard with the 112 of Kevin Ruff and the 3 of Bob Fitzpatrick here, just trying to hang on, use the momentum on the outside there to hang on to his top 10. As we've got 6 laps to go.
Man, are they closing the gap on Hayward? Because like I said, I can't see, but it's definitely getting to the nitty-gritty here. These guys racing hard here for position.
Gap right now, 0.35. Gapped a little bit, but it looks like on the exits, Travis Everett able to make up his ground. Last time by, let's see, Travis Everett just marginally quicker by a couple hundredth of a second now, going through 1 and 2, gap down to 0.25. So he is closing the gap. But Hunter Hayward again, really pinching down the exits of the corners, hurting that right front. Shallow entries, hurting that right front. It's playing into Travis Everett's hands. He's got time now, and he is well within striking distance.
Look who broke back into the top 10. That's the 3 of Bob Fitzpatrick trying to hold on to this here. Gets first top 10 of the season in front of GT Irizarry here in that 14. He's looking to hold on to that here with 5 to go. Or is it 5 to go?
Well, Chad Biesinger trying to get past the 14 here, just ahead of them. It is James Corwin in the 38 and Harold Watkins in the 22 battling side by side for it looks like the 7th and 8th position. Excuse me, the 8th and 9th positions. And man, I'm loving the side by side battling that these guys got here, just neck and neck for every position. He's so easy to fight now, and that's absolutely wonderful.
Oh, it's definitely wonderful to see there. Let's look at this courtroom battling in his 38 machine. The 22 of Harold Watkins, that's going to put him up to 8th as Harold Watkins goes back to the inside of that 38. And off of 4 this time, 3 to go for leader Hunter Hayward with a 1.1, really about a 2/10 of a second lead with Nolan Potter a second and a half back. These final 3 laps, can Everett get close enough to make something happen, or does Hayward pull off his first Cup Series win? And guess what? Playoffs are calling his name if that happens.
I tell you, Zach, we see now, this is exactly what I was about to mention. The dirty air, the closer Travis Everett got, the harder it was for him to make up time, and the more even the lap times got. He widened out his corner there, ran the high side, tried to formulate a run, but I don't think you can run that high. I think you've got to stick to the middle. Running too high here, it seems like you give up too much time on to the low side on corner entry.
We'll have to see here with 2 to go. What kind of run does this 59 get off the top? Doesn't look like it's amounting to everything he needs as he's pulling within range, but this time here going back to the bottom to follow this 48. But I tell you what, guys, one final time here, looking for the white flag. Sheffield Graphics white flag in the air here for the RSR Cup Series. Hunter Hayward, 1 lap to go in the 48 machine to pull off this victory here tonight. Man, oh man, what a race it's been. But the 59 here, Everett, trying everything he can in the final lap to get to that bumper.
And it's just not quite working out, down to almost half a second gap here. Hunter Hayward able to stretch his legs in the final lap, coming out of 4 here to take the checkered flag.
Yes, he does. Off of 4, first win in the Cup Series for Hunter Hayward. Another first-time winner here. Congrats to Hunter Hayward pulling off the victory here tonight in this 48 machine. Put the pressure on all night long. Was able to capitalize with a little bit of damage to that 29. And I tell you what, he drove the wheels off there, holding off Travis Everett and Nolan Potter here tonight, with Curtis Preston, I believe, going to bring it home in 4th. And you know that's got to feel tough for him in that position. But, man, what a race here at the RSR Cup Series, round number 10. I loved it, every bit of it here, as we will get to see Hunter Hayward here bring it to the front straightaway and celebrate his first victory of his career here in the RSR Cup Series. Congrats to that young man, and I tell you what, it's definitely getting a little bit more worrisome, I think, for the competition. They're definitely taking account to this 48 now.
Oh, absolutely. Everybody is going to be noticing him each and every week, trying to figure out what he's doing. And I think guys like that, they become the judge of speed.
I'm about to ask him about his burnouts, though. What's up with him and wrecking his cars on burnouts? Because Hayward there putting it into the wall with the rear end again. But, man, I tell you what, great way to win for himself. He'll celebrate here on the front straightaway. We'll be back here in a few moments as we get our top 3 drivers here for our post-race interviews. All right, we're back here, everybody, at Freaky Fast Broadcasting with the RSR Cup Series top 3 drivers here tonight from race number 10 at the Kansas Speedway. Let's hear what Nolan Potter has to say about his third place finish here tonight in this 34 machine. Hey, Nolan, it's Zach up in the booth. You got a copy, man?
Yeah, I got a
Hey,
copy.
oh, you got all right. There you go. Hey, man. Well, I tell you what, great race tonight for yourself, buddy. After coming into the season here tonight, already got a win in the bag for yourself. But man, it seems like mile and a halves are the place that you qualify well and just seem to race really well, man. So, how was the race out here tonight, at Kansas, with the new update to the track? Too, it looked really fun out there. But just describe to us your overall night here at Kansas.
It was really fun. It was quite interesting trying to figure out at what time to move up a little bit. In the past here, I used to really like that high line, like right up against the wall, but you could not get there tonight. So, just stuck in the middle, to the middle late in runs, and got good runs off was the key, and it worked out for me. Early on, I didn't think I had a good car to compete. I thought I was gonna be about a 10th place car, but missed few wrecks and just worked my way up. So
Yeah, you definitely did, man. I tell you what, you put yourself in position there to get into this top 3. They're taking advantage of a few things happening ahead of you, and that's what it takes, man. Consistency and driving the wheels off it like you do each and every week. But we head off to Darlington next week, where it's going to be a tough race here in the Cup Series, man. One of the toughest tracks on the schedule. Now, like I said, we've seen throughout the whole entire season. It seems like the mile and a halves are your strong point. It's not a mile and a half, but somewhat of an intermediate track. Do you feel like you could maybe carry some of that momentum from your mile and a half success to there?
yeah, I really like Darlington. I like the momentum tracks. Keeping your momentum up. Darlington, the big thing is just avoiding the exit of turn two. You can't hit that outside wall and wrinkle that right front up. So it's gonna really ruin your rest of your race. So it should be fun next week.
It definitely should be, especially after tonight's fantastic race here for race number 10, man. Congrats on third here tonight, Nolan. You put on a fantastic show out there, battling down to the end with you and Curtis. But before we let you go, man, and get ready for next week at Darlington, anybody wants to shout to?
Well, shout out to Hunter on his first win. He ran really well tonight, and shout out to my teammates. We really helped drafting this week and getting runs and seeing what your car was like. We did a lot of practice, and Harold and Nate. So uh, that's about it.
Awesome stuff, Nolan, man. Well, I tell you what, congrats on third here tonight, man, and we'll catch you at Darlington next week. Hopefully, we'll be talking to you a few positions higher, buddy.
All right, thanks, Zach.
All right, that was Nolan Potter in the 34 here tonight, bringing home another great run for that Stealth Motorsports car. But now we'll move on to the 59 Travis Everett from Slide Job Racing, making a late appearance into really the top part of the race. I mean, he qualified third, but kind of disappeared early on, and made an appearance here late in the race. Let's hear what he has to say. Hey, Travis, it's Zach up in the booth, man. You got a copy? Hey, Travis, it's Zach up in the booth, man. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. We got you.
Hey, buddy. Well, I tell you what, man, another great run for yourself out there, getting a top 3 tonight, and somewhat of I would say, a bounce back here tonight. You had it seemed like a few issues, and got you caught back up there, man. But you were able in the late going to able to drive yourself up to that second position here at the Kansas Speedway. Kind of tell us how you were able to pull all that off.
Yeah, I decided I wasn't going to take tires there. I believe it was the coming to the last stage, or I can't remember exactly where it was, and stayed out there and just kind of coasted and was hoping it was going to play out green a little bit longer than it did. I think if we could have got another 5 or 6 laps on them there before the final caution come out, I think it would really pay dividends.
Oh, that's a good point too. I forgot you stayed out there, and that makes sense. You guys coming down there, if a few more laps, definitely could have been interesting to see that greater distance or distinction in the tires with the top guys up there, man. But I tell you what, driving up the second tonight was a fantastic night. We had the trucks at Darlington last night with the truck series, man. We go there with the Cups cars next week. I know you qualified on pole there, but just didn't have the best race, kind of getting into that wall for real. You think you can change that up here coming up in that Cup car?
We ran pretty good there last season in the Cup car. I think it was me and Craig Burns. It come down to about a 10, 15 lap battle there, and he come out on top. Real fun, and maybe we can come out on top this time instead of second.
Well, man, I wouldn't doubt it. That 59 each and every week shows great pace, and good to see you up here performing each and every week. And Darlington will be one to watch, that's for sure. As everybody saw here tonight, Kansas was such a great race, man. But congrats on second here tonight, Travis. Before we pack stuff up and go to Darlington, anybody wants to send a shout out to you, man?
I just want to thank all y'all up there broadcasting this thing for us. We enjoy having y'all, and of course, Ryan and everybody over there, Evolution, Sheffield Graphics, and congratulations to Hunter. I've been keeping an eye on him, and he's definitely going to be one to reckon with here in the Cup Series for sure. Got a lot of talent.
Definitely does, man. Well, I'll tell you what, Travis, great run here tonight, man, and we will catch you next week at Darlington.
Appreciate it. Y'all have a good night.
You too, buddy. All right, that was Travis Everett in the 59. Another great run for him. But now let's pull up our first-time winner here at the RSR Cup Series of Hunter Hayward and talk to him about pulling off the victory here tonight for the first time here in this Cup Series. Hunter Hayward, is Zach Hall in the booth? You got a copy, buddy?
I do.
Man, I tell you what, congrats, first of all, on the first win here in the Cup Series. We knew it was coming. You showed speed out of the gate in your brief fill-in drives. Then you got the full-time ride here. How's it feel to come out to Kansas tonight and actually pull off a victory for yourself?
And I'll tell you what, I am just exhausted from that. That was a full-on battle. I've not had a race like that in a long time. I'll tell you what, me and that 29 were definitely showing our speed over the rest of the field today, and I just battled him stage 1 and 2. He got that first stage, and man, I don't know what happened under that caution. All I know is there was a car stopped, and 29 just spun and missed him and kind of wrecked himself a little bit and ended his race there. And I just took advantage of it. I feel really bad for that 29, how his race had to end that way, but it feels really good to get this PlanBSales.com Chevy in Victory Lane and 48 in Victory Lane.
There you go. That's very true. That number is very suiting for a young man like you. With your infatuation with Jimmy Johnson. So good to see you representing the number well, getting the 48 back into Victory Lane, man. I tell you what, Hunter, it was so fun to watch tonight. You and Curtis battle all the way down to the end. Like you said, unfortunate to see him get some damage there, because I think it would have been a heck of a battle with you guys. And all night it seemed like you guys were the class of the field, but it just, as the run went on, that 29 started to prevail a little bit. Is there anything you had maybe set up if he wouldn't have got that damage to possibly, figure something out to get around him in the closing stages?
Yep, most definitely. I think the dirty air was the factor. Dirty air in this new update that iRacing is building, they're just progressively getting it more and more stronger. And it just kind of pulls you in the line of the car behind you and kind of just makes you tighter, and you got to back off a little bit more, and it beats up your tires just a little bit more. And towards the end of the run, I was just giving all I got to try to catch him at the end of the stages, and I couldn't do anything. But I knew that we had a longer stage and possibly green flag pit stops for that run. So I just knew that I needed to save my stuff a little bit more. The 29 still pulled away in that first little, right before that caution, that everyone was kind of starting their pit cycles, but that caution ended it. And that 29 pulled away. I was going to wait for him to pit and then go one more lap around, try to gain some time on him, and then see if I could get in front of him and save my stuff then.
Awesome stuff, buddy. Well, I'll tell you what, it played out for yourself pretty well here tonight in the 48, able to bring home the victory here tonight at Kansas. And it's looking good. Playoff eligible now. See if you can get yourself in the right situation to make those playoffs, buddy. And you're going to be a factor, because we see it each and every week in that 48, just looking very strong. So congrats on the victory here tonight, Hunter. Let us know who makes it happen for you to get the victory lane here tonight.
All my teammates out there, Chad Bessinger and Anthony Yunes. I always struggle on that last name. I'm sorry, Anthony. But I know Kevin Zabludu couldn't make that tonight, and it sucks. He's about 15 minutes late. But I won the race, and he joined the Discord, and he was like, "Oh, so I just need to skip a race, and you'll win it, huh?" So thank you. Shout out to Kevin. I like to thank all my family out there for all them watching. Thanks for all your support out there. I love all y'all. Everyone watching there, being there every week, day in and day out on Sundays and Tuesdays. I'd also like to give a shout out to my brand new sponsor, PlanBSales.com. Plan B Sales is the largest independent distributor of NASCAR diecast. Retail customers can also visit CircleBDiecast.com, where you can use the code NDCS, capital NDCS, for free shipping on orders over $20 in the U.S. So check them out if you're looking for NASCAR diecast.
Awesome stuff, buddy. Congrats, like I said, on the victory. Sure, many more to come. But, man, go cherish this one, and we'll catch you next week at the Darlington Raceway.
Brother, you have a good night.
You too, buddy. All right, that was Hunter Hayward, your Sheffield Graphics race winner here tonight from the RSR Cup Series. Fantastic race here tonight, guys. So fun to watch up here in the booth. But let's pull up our race results here and go through these 36 cars here that put on a show here at the Kansas Speedway. As they shoot fireworks off in the background. Celebrating Hunter Hayward's victory here tonight. There he brings it home in that first position. Second's going to go to Travis Everett. Third is going to be the 34 Nolan Potter. Fourth is going to be Curtis Preston after setting on the pole, winning both stages, getting some contact with a late caution. Fifth is going to go to Andrew Little. Sixth is Alex Rudolph. Seventh is Nathan Campbell. Eighth is going to go to James Corron. Ninth, Bob Fitzpatrick's first top 10 of the year. 10th is going to go to Harold Watkins. 11th is Kevin Ruff. 12th will be GT Irizarry. 13th is Ryan Bean. 14th, Chad Biesinger. 15th, Casey Kuntz. 16th, Kevin Dowd. 17th, Ryan Ezel. 18th, Marc-Andre Thibodeau. 19th, J.R. Miller. 20th is Michael Martino. 21st, Matthew Rush. 22nd is Dylan Emery. 23rd is Kevin Sabilla. 24th, Anthony Younes. 25th is David Hall. 26th, Adam Buzzio. 27th is Stephen Baldwin. 28th, Stephen Carey. 29th is Trevor Massetti. 30th is John Ouellet. 31st, Tony Ludi. 32nd is Michael Sheffield. 33rd, Dustin Stallings. 34th, Kevin Giadricic. 35th, our points leader, Cody McCauley. And rounding out your field is Craig A. Burns in the 36th position, as that is our starting lineup here tonight from the Kansas Speedway with the RSR Cup Series for race number 10. Cannot say how much of a fantastic of that race was, because, man, just racing all over the place, battles up and down the field, drivers coming through, good finishes all around. Man, exciting night here. Can't wait to get to Darlington next week. But, Brandon, what's your final thoughts on here tonight, Kansas?
Just got to echo that. It was a fantastic race. I can't remember the last time I saw a race at Kansas that was that nail-biting and just that many battles. But congratulations, Hunter Hayward, on his first victory. And I am excited, as always, to get to Darlington and see any racing at Darlington. I love that place, and these guys are going to put on a heck of a show there.
They definitely will. Can't wait to get there in Darlington, South Carolina. Don't miss it next week live here on Tuesday at Freaky Fast Broadcasting. But till now, we will send it up to Robert Moyer Jr. here to close out tonight's broadcast in the RSR Cup Series. But, man, what a fantastic night here, guys, at Freaky Fast Broadcasting. Thank you for tuning in.
All right, man. Well, good calling, guys. Wow, what action-packed racing we had out there, ladies and gentlemen. Man, what else can this league not do? I mean, this is just getting every week we come in here on a Tuesday night not knowing what's going to happen. Kansas put on a great show. They put on a great show. You get a first-time winner here in the Cup Series. Just came up from the ARCA Series a couple weeks ago. Locks himself into the playoffs. God forbid what we're going to see next week. So make sure you hit that subscribe button on YouTube and Facebook and to follow there, and like this video and share it with your friends and family so you don't miss any of the action and see what they do. Like Zach said, as we head to Darlington next week, I am with Brandon, one of my favorite tracks to watch, to call, to race. The lady in black will probably give a couple people a black eye, 9 out of 10. So make sure you tune in at 9:20 next Tuesday. But next time we'll be live is tomorrow with Underdog, as they're going to be in the trucks at 8:30 at Talladega with the new draft package. Now, we have not called a truck race yet at Talladega with the new draft package. So let's see how that all turns out tomorrow night at 8:30. So make sure you tune in tomorrow night to see that kind of action. But until then, we like to say, God bless everybody. We love you all. Peace out.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.